Hello and welcome to this week's West Coast Today podcast with me, Kathy Griffiths.
Me, Owen Wild.
Me, Fiona Scott.
And me, Matt Young.
This week's front page of the Oban Times is a tribute to Oban's much-loved people and charities champion, Helen Pearson, whose sudden death last week rocked the community. Helen was on her way home from bingo when she fell, and despite the effort of emergency services at the scene and medics at the town's hospital, the 59-year-old could not be saved. Helen had many strings to her bow. She was a great supporter and encourager of many organisations, good causes and individuals across the whole community who thought the absolute world of her. She was a committed Christian, fanatic about Celtic Football Club and adored her family. Gaelic was also a passion, and of course she had a fine singing voice, impressing many a judge at local and national mods. You can read more about Helen and those touching tributes in print and online at westcoasttoday.co.uk. Our sympathies to Helen's family and all whose lives she touched. Over to you, Owen. What do you have for us this week?
Thank you, Kathy. Kilmelford Church has launched its new annex, a project 8 years in the making, which you can read all about on page 3 of this week's Oban Times. We have details of Oban's Remembrance services, as well as taking a look at Tunnel Primary School's innovative new Remembrance Museum. We've got coverage from Halloween, with Dunbeg's Haunted Horror Maze and St Conan's Kirk's amazing Pumpkin Festival. Worries about the MV Loch Freezer's capability to operate a single vessel service to Mull have been proven true. The vessel has been leaving many passengers behind on frequent sailings, and on a sailing last weekend, locals were asked to disembark as the ferry became overfilled. Finally, a man from Seal is petitioning the Scottish Government to install emergency phones in rural communities. In the most recent power cut, Seal had no way of contacting the outside world for 36 hours, as both the new voice-over internet landlines and mobile signal went dark. You can find a link to his petition on www.westcoasttoday.co.uk. Kathy, you'll remember that power cut quite well.
I certainly will. We were out of power on Link for a very long time. Emergency stash, people. That's what you need if you live on an island. Get your tins in. Right, okay. Thanks, Owen. Fee, what stories have you got for us?
Thanks, Kathy. Well, it's November the 5th, so do we have a banger of a Lochaber Times for you this week? The fireworks started last Thursday when Fort William and Ardnamurchan councillor Kate Willis took Highland Council to task after they failed to implement mandatory parking charges for motorhomes and camper vans that were agreed back in February. She said that she was extremely disappointed at the response to her question at last week's full council meeting, but that the dialogue was still continuing. On to sparklers now, and a jeweller from Plockton will be shining in Glasgow next month when she attends 2 festive design markets showcasing the work of Scotland's most talented designers and makers. And there are no damp squibs down in Moydart either, as the now famous Glenuig Inn has reached a milestone moment. After 2 years of hard work from a dedicated group of volunteers supported by the residents of Glenuig and the wider community, the ambitious dreams of buying the historic venue were finally realised. So remember, you can always catch up on all this week's news and sport on the Lochaber Times website at www.westcoasttoday.co.uk. Back to you, Catherine. Wheelie ace front person. Too much, do you think?
Thanks, Fee. Matt, what's been keeping you busy?
Well, I don't have any fireworks puns, but I do have a shout out to all of Oban's coffee lovers. Anchor and Steam opened its doors on October the 19th, and co-owners Aaron and Alfie say there has been a real community oomph behind the project. The couple moved out west when Aaron suggested a change of scene following a life-changing accident back in 2023. Plans are underway for late night openings and even a special festive window display. Oban Air Cadets is set to return after a 5-year hiatus. The 2521 squadron closed its doors in 2020 following the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. But thanks to a massive effort from volunteers, they are ready to get the group back together. Young people aged between 12 and 17 will be offered the chance to take part in flying, gliding, first aid courses and the Duke of Edinburgh Awards scheme. Parents interested in signing the children up can contact the squadron on Facebook. Now, who doesn't love a story about a fluffy four-legged friend? Well, last week, Cocker Spaniel Flynn assisted Oban lifeboat crew in a practice rescue to help prepare the staff for assisting pets in distress. Flynn enjoyed a trip on the lifeboat during the evening exercise and thoroughly enjoyed his extra walk by the coast. Catch up with Flynn and all the other stories in this week's Oban Times and online at www.westcoasttoday.co.uk.
Thank you, Matt. And another reminder that if you have a story or photograph you'd like to share with us, you can email us at editor@obantimes.co.uk or editor@lochabertimes.co.uk. You can also call us on 01631 568 000 and you can get in touch with us on our social media platforms. Don't forget to pick up a copy of this week's papers at all the usual retail spots, and of course you can also get the very latest news by subscribing to www.westcoasttoday.co.uk. Remember also, before we say our final farewells, to stay safe if you're going out tonight for bonfire night. Keep those sparklers at a far off distance. Okay, goodbye from me, Kathy Griffiths.
Goodbye from me, Owen Wild.
Bye from me, Fiona Scott.
And goodbye from me, Matt Young.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.